Nakon 16 godina skrivanja i 6 godina provedenih u Haškom tribunalu, Ratku Mladiću u 75. godini života dočekuje svoju presudu. Bivši komandant Vojske Republike Srpske optužen je između ostalog za ubistvo, teror, nezakonite napade na civile, za kršenje zakona i običaje rata, za istrebljenje, deportaciju i zločine protiv čovečnosti, za genocid u Srebrenici, progon muslimana i Hrvata širom Bosne i Hercegovine, terorisanje stanovništva Sarajeva i uzimanje pripadnika UNPROFOR-a za taoce. O Mladićevom skrivanju, hapšenju i suđenju, ulozi srpskog državnog vrha u tim procesima i očekivanjima od Haškog tribunala da harmonizuje odnose na Balkanu, razgovaramo sa Florence Artman, bivšom potparolkom Haškog tribunala i savjetnicom Carle Del Ponte i članicama Koalicije za međunarodnu pravdu, Ninom Beng-Jansen i Stefani Fritz. Ratku Mladić is one of the last and, according to Serge Bramertz, one of the most important cases. What's the legacy of trial of Ratku Mladić?
I think it will, on some level, expose this very deep myth that the Serbian people have that they are the victim. The facts that come out in the trial of Ratku Mladić will show the fierceness of the battles against thousands of civilians, and also against some Serbs who didn't want any part of the violence and any part of the war. So after that, I think, it really will depend on what the Serbs and what people in the region want to do with the facts. But the facts will be well documented from the standpoint of the court about what happened during war, during the conflicts in the 1990s.
I think the legacy goes well beyond the region, but just focusing on the region for now, he for me, and again, someone who is thousands of miles away, is the person who is the link, really, between the Belgrade and Bosnian Serb forces, and we see most recently in the decision regarding classifying the indictments of the people who were protecting Mladić as state secrets, an affirmation of that. Often in places I work around the world, and it's certainly not just from Yugoslavia, there's often an effort to hide the relationships between states. So when it's convenient, governments will say, we had nothing to do with that. Our borders are our borders. When it's obvious to anyone on the ground what's actually happening.
Dok je Haška poternica na snazi, Mladić od Vojske Srbija dobio obezbeđenje, živi u svom stanu, posećuje vojne objekte, neometano učestvuje u društvenom životu. Za to vreme, kako je u ranijim izjavama tvrdio srpski državni vrh, svaki građanin Srbije mesečno je gubio po 159 evra zato što haški optuženik nije uhapšen i isporučen Međunarodnom sudu pravde. Pre samo nekoliko meseci iz Ministarstva pravde najavljeno je da će ministarka Nela Kuburović uputiti pismo Hagu u kojem će tražiti da se Mladiću omoguće svi medicinski adekvatni uslovi lečenja u Srbiji. Pomoć Mladiću stiže iz Rusije, koja je tribunalu dala zvaničnu garanciju za njegovo privremeno puštanje na lečenje u Moskvu. Takođe, na nedavni zahtev novinara Birna da im se dostavi kopija optužnice protiv 11 osoba za pomaganje u skrivanju Ratka Mladića, iz prvog osnovnog javnog tužilaštva odgovoreno je da je optužnica proglašena državnom tajnom i da stoga ne može biti dostavljena javnosti. Podsjetimo, samo jedan optuženik proglašen je krivim i to jer je priznao krivicu, dok je 9 njih oslobođeno usled nedostatka dokaza, a jedan od njih u međuvremenu preminuo. Mladić was hiding for 14 years. What is the story behind his hiding and arresting? And what's the role of Serbia's government in those processes?
So, for many years, Mladić was hiding in plain sight. He was politically protected, and then he was physically protected by the military. So again, I think that's going to be an internal reckoning that the Serbian people are going to need to demand at some point from the government to find out why that happened. I think that given the context, I think that it's understandable, but it is also a fact that he was living a life in plain sight in Serbia for many years, again, politically protected and with military support. So the Serbian government bears the responsibility for that.
Koje tajne su pratile skrivanje, hapšenje i suđenje Ratku Mladiću?
Ne znam da li ima tajne oko njegovog bekstva, to je poznato. Fali možda neki detalji, fali naravno, jako je zanimljivo da Srbija ne želi objaviti detalje predmeti koje su bili protiv ljudi koji su ga pomogli. To je već direktni, vrlo jasni priznanje da je Srbija u tome učestvovala. Imamo već dosta činjenice, ali oni potvrde da ima još više činjenice. Naravno bih porodice ubijenih vojnika u Topšideru bi željeli da znaju svaki dan kad je on zapravo bio u toj kaserni, da znaju više od tog predmeta, ali znamo da je sakriven uz pomoć države. Možda neke tajne su da nije homogena bila država Srbija u sakrivanju Mladića, svi nisu se time složili, ali bili su tajni ratovi iza zatvorenih vrata između različitih osobe ili servisi ili ljudi koji su zavisno iz koje partije ili koje grupe pripadale u toku rata i nakon rata. Znači, bilo potencijal da Srbija predaje Mladiću mnogo ranije, ali to nije se desilo. Znači, ovi koje podržavaju ratni ciljevi su bili jači, nažalost, od ljudi koji su trebali voditi Srbiju u nekoj tranziciji i da se suočava sa prošlošću. Njegovo hapšenje je poznato, znači pritisci su ipak omogućili da se nešto dešava. Zanimljivo bi bilo da znamo koliko je Rusija pomogla Srbiji u sakrivanje ili u finansiranje, sakrivanje Mladić. Mnogo toga ne znamo, ali je došao, suđenje je kakva jeste. Neki novi elementi su ušli u tom predmetu, tako da jedini prednost što je Mladić kasno suđen je da informacije koje su postavljene nakon egzumacije, ne samo nakon nalaženja, nego nakon egzumacije Tomašice su ušli u tom predmetu dok su bile odbijene u slučaju Karadžić, zato što su bili prekasno upoznate. Sve to je to što taj čovjek je trebao da odgovori na sud.
How important is support from national institution in confronting the past and discovering the truth?
I found that both sad and comical. For years, the network of people around the world who were working to try to persuade the government in Belgrade to cooperate with the tribunal. And that involved people here in the United States, in Canada, and Europe, would meet over and over again with government officials in Belgrade or their representatives here in Washington. I can't tell you how many meetings we had with ambassadors who would tell us they had no idea where this was. They had nothing to do with Mladić. And we knew. We didn't know with certainty, but we knew from information we were receiving that Mladić was being protected. So in a sense, what I mean by comical is they're essentially admitting, by calling this a state secret, that there was government involvement. I have not read the decision. I'm relying on media accounts. So, I stand ready to be corrected, but it seemed unintentionally absurd.
It's interesting that the government now wants to consider certain facts a state secret that were available to the public at the time that they were going on. So in 2006, with trials, there were many newspaper articles listing names of individuals who participated in hiding General Mladić. So to me, it's a sort of curious step at this point, curious and worrisome step that the government is now taking measures to protect, to conceal, and to hide who those people were and what they were doing.
Do kraja 2017. Haški tribunal prestaje sa radom nakon 24 godine postojanja. Osnovan sa ciljem da sudi počiniocima ratnih zločina na području bivše SFRJ, utisak je da nijedna od država nije zadovoljna rezultatima njegovog rada. Nakon više od 20 godina od rata, nije došlo do direktnog suočavanja sa prošlošću, saradnje i poverenja u regionu. Države su osuđenicima plaćale pravnu pomoć, a narodi navijali za njihovo oslobađanje. Činjenica da su mnogi oslobođeni haški optuženici u svojim državama dočekani kao heroji, jasno govori o tome koliko nismo usvojili cilj posle ratnih vremena.
Oh gosh, I don't think any institution ever truly fulfills its mission. And certainly there are many flaws, things that I hope have been learned by people who've been involved in supporting the tribunal about how to do this better, more effectively, how to involve the people in the countries where the crimes occurred much more effectively, how to do better outreach. Part of the problem with the tribunal, I think, is that there were too many promises made. The expectations were so high. So I think within the it's really kind of remarkable that it lasted this long, that people persisted. I mean, it is grueling to have to, and certainly it's grueling for the people who suffered and who from these crimes as well, to follow it all these years. But the fact that we were able to sustain the support for the tribunal to actually dig in for this long, I think is pretty incredible.
I think that the tribunal did not understand early on enough that it was going to be used as a political football to score points by various sides, instead of just being the fact-finding institution that it believed it was set up to be. It realized, I think, far too late that it was not really participating in how it was being perceived in the region. And that was a great detriment, I think, not only to the court, but also to the people of the region who were essentially being informed by their political leaders about how they should be interpreting the facts that were coming out of the court. One of the strengths, of course, of a transparent court process is that the general public is allowed to know what the facts were on the ground as they were occurring. And that was a big purpose in the establishment of the tribunal, was to create a record. So I certainly, I don't think that there is that the court at this point has left or currently has, I guess, a very positive reputation in the region, and that I don't think that it was able to fulfill the purpose that it was really, that it set out to accomplish. But that said, it did create a very, very strong record of the facts. And those records, that record is available. And I think now the next step, what's really needed is for the region, for countries in the region to take the next step in developing their own process for reckoning with what happened in the 1990s. I think really you can't build a strong society on a foundation where the facts are not known. And to politically manipulate facts may be politically expedient, but in the long run, it does not serve the people and it doesn't serve the country. It doesn't build a healthy society.